So there you have it, some of the superfoods there for diabetics. Actually, it doesn't sound that bad at all. It's quite yummy, actually, I mean, to think about it. Anyway, we have another new set of guests with us here today. We'd like to say good morning to Nathalie Seroux, who's the Regional Marketing Manager for Colombia Asia. Woan, who's the Food Service Dietitian, Colombia Asia Management Office. And we've got Muniandy from Diabetes Malaysia. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Thanks. Now, just to get straight into the topic, you know, as we heard Brian's story and his family and all that earlier on, when we talk about families suffering from diabetes and we talk about blame, now who's to blame for this? Because sometimes, you know, we had someone writing on Facebook saying that, you know, she cooks for her kids and the kids are guinea pigs, so they eat whatever she gives. So are the parents to be blamed? Who's to be blamed here? Anyone? Muniandy, would you like to answer this question?
No one is to be blamed for the cause of diabetes. I think certain people are just predisposed towards diabetes.
Okay.
And of course, in the present trend and the present situation, food is a major concern. We have a tendency to eat a lot of junk food, fast foods, processed foods, and all these are contributing factors. Towards this.
Okay, so there's no one really to blame. It's just the lifestyle that you keep.
Right, it's a lifestyle thing.
Right. Kong, you know, basically as a dietitian, how can this be helped? I mean, especially where our country is concerned, where food is in abundance. We love our rice, we love our carbs, we love our sweets. What do we do here?
So to prevent for type 2 diabetes, actually I will recommend for those who are overweight, so they should go for weight loss at least 5 to 10% from their current weight. So how to conduct a weight loss? Usually I will recommend them go for a reduced calorie diet, which is an example like if you are consuming 2,000 calories per day, so try to reduce 500 calories every day. So
you've got to count basically at every meal what you eat.
Yes.
Wow, that's quite tiring, isn't it?
But it's a useful tool, and somehow it's flexible for those who are overweight to try to control the portion size and serving size.
Okay. Now I'm curious. I mean, you know, okay, like, are there people who are not overweight and not obese who actually have diabetes?
Yes, for those who are, not overweight, so we do encourage, because we find out to have a high fiber diet and also limit the sugary beverages actually will help to control and prevent the diabetes.
Okay, okay, so basically it's eating in moderation.
Moderations, and try to consume as much as whole meal as you can.
Okay, okay.
Vegetables, and be physically active as well.
Right, okay. It sounds like quite a chore, but I suppose once you get into the habit of it, it will be much easier. Yes. Now, Nathalie, World Diabetes Day, I understand that there's this walk for cure. What's that all about?
Walk for Cure is basically an opportunity for everybody to walk, have a healthy Sunday morning, and be part of the actual life of the children who are taken care of by Diabetes Malaysia. Okay, so Walk for Cure is an event which has been taking place now for 3 years. We have been organizing it in Titiwangsa for the Klang Valley, and every year we are trying to create awareness on diabetes, and we are raising funds for Diabetes Malaysia Children's Fund. Okay, so that's the purpose basically of it.
Okay, so coming back to Diabetes Malaysia, right, where the children are concerned, what happens to these children with diabetes?
Now, the children who are diagnosed with diabetes type 1, they have a very challenging life.
Like Brian.
Right, like Brian. And they have to go through the process of learning how to take care of their diabetes. They need to monitor their diabetes at regular intervals. They need to take the right type of foods. They need to inject themselves with insulin at regular intervals. So the monitoring process is very essential.
Okay.
And it's got a psychological effect on them as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you know, Brian seems like a pretty steady boy,
Right.
but you know, that's because he's probably got very supportive parents. But I'm sure there are others out there who are like, you know, I've got to inject myself,
Right.
You know, and I can't go out and play with my friends or eat the kind of food that my friends eat. It can psychologically, it can affect them, right?
The question is always, why me?
Yeah.
So, but
How do you answer
nobody
that?
is to be blamed for that. It just happens.
Okay.
So in the case of diabetes type 1, it just happens.
Okay.
The pancreas is not functioning the way it should, and this causes type 1 diabetes.
So does that mean that type 2 diabetes can be avoided? It develops in age if you've suddenly, you know, become, you know, obese, and it can just develop like that, just to get to know the disease a little bit better.
Yeah, type 2 is developed because of the lifestyle and eating habits. So if we need to eat balanced meals,
Okay.
and if we can work on that, I think we can prevent it, or at least prolong delay the process.
Okay, okay. So, Nathalie, as you mentioned, the Walk for Cure, you know, it's to benefit the organization, raise funds, because there are a lot of families who might not be able to afford. Is this medication very expensive?
No, generally, most of the normal people, they go to the government hospitals, and government provides free medication.
Okay.
But they do not provide the monitoring devices and the related products.
I see.
Like the strips, the lancets, the needles, and all these things. So this is where Diabetes Malaysia comes in to help the poor and needy.
Okay.
So we provide these things, these monitoring devices, free of charge, to enable them to do their monitoring as regularly as possible.
Oh wow! So it's a very, very good course, and it's for those who can't afford it.
Right.
That's it.
How much are we raising here? What are we talking about here? I mean, like last year, what was the success rate?
Okay, the last 2 years that we had, the success rate was actually okay. We had the first year we raised 25,000 ringgits. The second year we raised 30,000 ringgits. It might, you know, the amount of money might not be very meaningful like that, but basically, if I remember well, that means that we helped 250 kids for about 4 months of supply. Okay, so obviously not only Columbia Asia supposed to be there to help, you know, Diabetes Malaysia. Some others should be there as well. But it's better than nothing. I mean, obviously, you know, like whenever you're approaching these kids, you know, either kids or teenagers already, who are officially suffering from it. I mean, you know, there's another little girl who we've been working with before, and she's exactly like what, you know, has been said. She's like, why me?
Yeah.
You know, I just want to go and have, you know, fast food, and I just want to have the same life as the others. And the more she's actually growing, the more she's getting there, because we're talking about a much younger young one than Brian. So she's realizing now, it's like, why me? So just whenever you talk to them and you're able to feel that, you know, we organize an event, we organize a fundraising thing, it's got a meaning.
Okay.
It's not just for the fun of it, or just it's got a deep meaning to them.
Of course,
so that's
nice. Yeah. Now, one more question to our dietitian here. Do you get a lot of Malaysians now coming to you and saying, look, I want to change my lifestyle. I don't want to be, you know, having all these kind of diseases. Help me change my diet. Do you get that a lot now?
Our country, I mean, they're still in the way to develop a healthy concern. So most of the patients that come to see me, they already developed that kind of disease.
Oh, so it's already it's after the fact then.
Yes.
So what should happen is before, and that's why we're having
because
diabetes
prevention
day.
is always better.
Okay, of course, prevention is always better. Anyway, thank you very much to all of you for coming down and sharing all this with us, and, you know, have a great day ahead and celebrate it, and we'll raise as much awareness as we can about it. And, you know, yes, I mean, you know, sugar is a very big part of our culture, but, you know, I love coffee, and when everyone thinks about coffee, it's like, wow, there's so much sugar in it, especially when you go to the mama and they make your coffee for you. But you can have your sugar, you can have your coffee but not the sugar in it, okay? Right or not?
That's right.
Absolutely. Anyway, hope you enjoyed today's show. And if you've missed it, you can always go to www.tonton.com.my, and this is what is happening with Belinda on Monday in Bella Confidential.